He discovered an alien girl, alone, vulnerable, and with nothing but a sorrowful tale. The dense extraterrestrial forest thrived with an eerie vibrancy as Tyler Murphy maneuvered through the thick undergrowth. His heavy scout armor adapted seamlessly to each step, absorbing the uneven terrain beneath him. Above, the foreign sun filtered through a canopy of peculiar, purple-tinged leaves, casting intricate, dappled shadows that painted an almost mystical scene. As a seasoned ranger of the Terran Expeditionary Force, Tyler had ventured across countless uncharted worlds. Yet, something about this planet felt different. The air carried an unusual sweetness, and the local flora bore intricate patterns unlike anything he had ever encountered. His assignment was straightforward: survey the western continent for potential colonization. So far, nothing had stood out. Until now, the sight before him froze him in place. Nestled among the gnarled roots of an ancient tree was a naked humanoid woman. Her platinum hair cascaded in delicate waves over her shoulders, and her pale skin held a faint greenish hue, a clear marker of her non-human origin. Small cuts and smudges of dirt marred her otherwise flawless skin. Tyler's instincts took over, assessing the situation with practiced precision. She appeared unarmed and distressed, yet experience had taught him never to trust first impressions. He maintained a cautious distance, his weapon holstered but within reach. Then their eyes met. Her large amber irises shimmered, not with fear but with sorrow so profound it clenched at his chest. She looked shattered, as though hope had long abandoned her. "Do you understand me?" Tyler asked, keeping his voice soft yet steady. The alien woman trembled slightly, curling her knees closer to her chest. Her lips parted, but no sound emerged. A silent battle waged within her. Tyler moved deliberately, unclasping the outer layer of his armor, non-threatening, measured. He removed his thermal cloak, standard issue for harsh environments, and extended it toward her. "Here," he said gently, stepping forward. "Let me help you." She neither recoiled nor withdrew. Instead, she studied him with desperate intensity, as if trying to determine whether he was real or merely another cruel illusion. For long moments, silence surrounded them, punctuated only by the rustling leaves and distant, alien calls of unseen creatures. Finally, she spoke. "I don't remember." Her voice, barely above a whisper, carried a melodic quality despite the raw pain underlying each word. She spoke perfect standard English, which immediately raised questions in Tyler's mind. He crouched to her level, careful to maintain enough space so as not to seem threatening. "What's the last thing you do remember?" She gripped the cloak tighter around her shoulders. "Pain. Darkness. Then here." Her gaze darted around, as though expecting the very shadows to rise up and consume her. Tyler's jaw tightened. He had witnessed enough suffering in his years of service to recognize the scars of trauma. Someone had done this to her, abandoned her, stripped her of everything, even her memories. "I'm Tyler Murphy, Terran Expeditionary Force." He introduced himself, keeping his tone professional yet reassuring. "You're safe now. I can help you if you'll let me." She studied him for a long moment, those amber eyes piercing into his very soul. "Why would you help me?" Her question lacked accusation, only genuine confusion, as if kindness was an alien concept to her. "Because it's the right thing to do," Tyler replied simply, "and because no one deserves to be left alone like this." A slight tremor ran through her frame. For a moment he thought she might cry. Instead, she straightened slightly, as though an invisible weight had lifted from her shoulders. "Thank you," she whispered. Then hesitantly, "I think I had a name once, but it's gone now, like everything else." Tyler nodded thoughtfully. "We'll figure out together. For now, let's get you somewhere safe. My base camp isn't far." She hesitated before taking his offered hand, allowing him to help her to her feet. She swayed slightly but quickly regained her balance, clutching cloak tightly around herself as they began their cautious journey through the alien wilderness. Tyler couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter would change everything. He had come to this planet seeking resources and potential colonies. Instead, he had found a mystery, one his conscience wouldn't let him ignore. The trek to base camp took longer than anticipated. The alien woman moved with an innate grace despite her exhaustion, yet they paused frequently when dizziness overtook her. During these moments, Tyler noticed how she would sometimes stare into the distance, her amber eyes unfocused, as if seeing something beyond the physical world. As they rested beneath a towering bioluminescent tree, she suddenly gasped, fingers digging into the moss-covered ground. "A laboratory," she whispered, her voice trembling. "The Genesis Collective. Alien scientists in their environmental suits, cold, calculating beings who see life only as equations to be solved." She shuddered. "They call me Subject Aviana." Tyler's jaw clenched. The Genesis Collective was notorious among human space forces, a clandestine alien faction obsessed with perfecting species through forced evolution and genetic manipulation. Despite humanity's best efforts, these experiments continued in hidden facilities across the galaxy. "Aviana," he tested the name. "Is that what you'd like me to call you?" She considered for a moment before nodding slowly. "It feels right. Not complete, but right." As they resumed walking, Tyler became increasingly aware of Aviana's presence. There was something captivating about the way she observed the world around her, as if experiencing everything for the first time. "You're kind," she said suddenly. "Humans, you're different from them." "How so?" he asked. "You're warmer, more alive." She glanced at him, a subtle flush deepening the green undertones of her skin. "Your emotions are strong, but not frightening. They feel safe." Tyler felt an unexpected flutter in his chest. His training dictated professionalism, yet something about Aviana made that increasingly difficult. As they arrived at his base camp, the alien sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the sky in breathtaking hues of violet and amber. The camp itself was a standard-issue temporary shelter, basic yet secure, a testament to human ingenuity. "You should rest," Tyler said, activating the shelter's environmental controls. "I'll prepare some food." Just then, another memory seized Aviana. She stumbled, and Tyler caught her instinctively. The moment their bodies connected, a strange current passed between them. Her skin was unexpectedly warm against his, her heart racing beneath his fingertips. "I remember," she whispered, pressing against his chest. "The Genesis Collective. They were trying to create something, a perfect being. But they could never understand." "Understand what?" Tyler asked, still holding her close. "Human emotions, human strength. That's what fascinated them most," she murmured, eyes wide with revelation. "They kept saying humans were the key." Tyler had heard rumors of the Genesis Collective's obsession with humanity. These ancient beings viewed human emotional depth as both primitive and powerful, a force they couldn't comprehend but desperately sought to control.